YouTube is good with y'all, man. Welcome back to the channel. Go back to a brand new video. Today I'm gonna be showing y'all how to make placement ready beats or beats replacements. But before I get into that, man, I just dropped my long awaited Heaven drum kit, man, like 2 weeks ago. So make sure to check that out after watching the video. First link in description. So get right into it. So placement ready beats, man. Of course you want to keep them simple. Don't want to do too much since you want to leave space for the artist. Usually I'll be going crazy on the tutorials just to educate y'all and teach y'all some shit. But I'll be making beats for placements outside of the recording. So if y'all like this tutorial, man, make sure to let me know in the comments if y'all want to see more videos like this, like minimalistic beats for placements. Yeah, this beat that I got right here that I'm going to be deconstructing today, I sent it to a bunch of artists last month since I made this beat last month, and like 90% of the artists preferred this beat over anything else that I sent in the pack. So let's get it, man. All right, so how I usually approach these type of beats is I start out with a very simple melody to get like a rhythm going, get a little bounce going. Then I go straight into the drums after one melody, and after that I go back to the melody after I laid the drums down to see what's missing and fill in some empty gaps, of course. For this beat right here, I only used 3 melodies, very minimal. This is what I started out with. Started out with Keyscape, only laid down 2 notes. Preset I used is the LA Custom C7 Rock. It's a very harsh sounding piano, but I like the way how that sounded. And only laid down 2 notes. It's D sharp and this E. Creates a lot of tension since they're next to each other in the scale. So that's what I laid down. That's what I started out with. Like I said, it's super simple. Only got 2 notes. It's D sharp and this E. Just created the basic pattern right here. Y'all heard it. Very repetitive. Just copied it straight over. That's pretty much it. And since it's so simple, you want to do some little things to kind of spice it up. So for example, this gap that I added right here. So for that piano, the effects I put on that, start out with the basic EQ, lowering some of the sub lows and boosting some of the high mids right here to add some space to it. Got this Hall of Vintage verb, these sentences right here. As you can see, this piano plays throughout the whole beat. So it's basically the main melody of the beat. Of course, layering is very important with these type of beats. So after that, got this tubular bell right here. I just layered it on the root note underneath the piano. It just hits on every 8th bar throughout the whole beat. But of course, the tubular bell by itself didn't really sound too good. So I decided to add an EQ on it to cut the sub lows out. Next to delay to kind of pan it from left to right, give it some more depth. And the same for Hall of Vintage verb. Now it sounds like this. That's way better. So after those 2 elements, I wanted to layer something else on top of it that plays throughout the whole beat. So I decided to add a crash on it on every 8th bar. Went to my Heaven drum kit right here. The first crash. Like I said, I just added it to every 8th bar. Layered it on top of the tubular bell and the piano. That's what it sounds like all together. By itself. Very subtle, but that's pretty much it. So after that, of course, I could get away with just having the piano throughout the whole beat, but I always like to add like 1 or 2 more melodies to it just to be able to like alternate between them throughout the arrangement of the beat. Just keeps the listener interested. So I went to Diva, got this preset right here. Some sort of lead, just so it sounded cool. And I laid down this pattern right here, very repetitive. Starts out on the root note, D sharp. Next I made it go up to A sharp and B next to each other in the scale. So once again, create a lot of tension. Like I said, start out on the root note, copied it over A, B, and just copied it over throughout the 8 bars. So that's what I ended up with together with the other melodies. And don't get me wrong, I could have kept it like that, but I kind of wanted to spice it up a little bit. So I decided to render it out. That's what I ended up with. Add some stutters to it. Just spice it up a little bit. So start out with a very subtle EQ just to lower the mids a little bit so it didn't get too muddy. Next, I opened up this Effectrix. With these sentences right here, just experimented till something sounded right. Used the loop and the reverse effect. So this is what it looks like visually. Kind of a stutter right here, then a reverse effect. After that, add the same for Hall of Vintage verb to it. These sentences right here, and ended out with another EQ just to lower the mids again. And like I said in the beginning of the video, man, I only got 3 melodies in this entire sample. So I went to Keyscape again. I believe I got the same preset, yeah, the LA Custom C7 Rock. I just laid down some sort of counter melody just to kind of go with the piano, if that makes sense. Pretty similar to the ARP. Start out on D sharp, made it go up to A sharp and B. Like I said, very similar to the ARP. But I just switched some notes up a little bit. Next, I copied that straight over, but instead of it going down to D sharp right here, what it did is just extended this beat. So it would have been like this before, but I decided to cut that out, just extend this beat. And after that, as you can see, when I laid that down, just copied it over like 2 or 3 more times and decided to kind of randomize these velocities a little bit. So I hit Option or Alt R, played around with this wheel right here, kind of randomized the velocities a little bit. Just kept it very simple. It's the last melody in this entire sample. This is what it sounds like. But of course, since this pattern was so simple, I decided to add some effects on it. Start out with this EQ right here, the shaper box to pan it out from left to right. Also add this ping pong delay to it to once again pan it out, and end it out with this Valhalla Vintage verb. Give it some ambience, some room, without the effects. Sounds very dry. That's hard. And that's it for the melodies, man. That's all I did to the sample. So after that, I just went straight into the drums. So for the drums, of course, since I went simple on the sample, I can add a lot of percussion to the drums without it getting too busy. If that makes sense. So start out with this 2-step hi-hat and this snare. That's what it sounds like. It's nothing too crazy. Gets the bounce going. Added no rolls to the hi-hats whatsoever, kept it very simple, just to leave a lot of room for the artist. But of course, with the arrangement, I decided to cut some hi-hats out, but I'll get into that later. Now for the sound selection for the hi-hat, went into my Heaven drum kit, used the hi-hat right there. For the snare, my Rookie Season drum kit, the snare right there. Next, went straight into the 808 to really get the bounce going. Laid down this pattern right here. I believe I just copied over the root notes of the piano and copied them into the 808 pattern. You can see they match perfectly. Only thing I changed with the 808 pattern is at the end right here, since I didn't want it to be like too repetitive, of course. So that sounds like. These notes right here really add a lot more bounce to it. Kind of delayed this note a little bit, so it kind of separates itself from the piano. It really adds a lot more bounce to it. The rest, everything else that I got right here is just percussion. So after that, I decided to add open hat to it to kind of make the 808 just punch a little bit harder. This pattern right here. Once again, very simple. On the first note right here, next I copied it over to hit right before the second bar. I just copied that over like 3 more times. That's it. After that, for the rest of the percussion, it was just about adding more bounce to it, kind of filling in some empty gaps, complementing some other drums. So I laid down this triangle right here. Like I said, it's about layering and just complementing other drums. So I layered that triangle on top of this open hat right here and right here. After the triangle, laid down this perk right here. It's on the first bar or on every 4th bar. So that's what it sounds like. Very subtle. And this perk right here fills in the gap between the first 2 808s. So if I just solo the 808 and this perk right here. And it's just little shit like that that just keeps the beat interesting and adds more bounce to it in these placement ready simplistic beats. Now for the second perk, went to my Heaven drum kit. That perk right there. Laid it down every end of every 4th and 8th bar. That's what it sounds like. And this kind of acts as a little transition between the first 4 and the second 4 bars. It's kind of in the middle. Like it kind of flows the first 4 bars into the second 4 bars. If that makes sense. After that, got this rim shot. Added it on the end of every second bar. I just copied it over to the next 4 bars. This pattern is nothing crazy, but like I said, it's about finding the empty spots in the drum pattern. Then I added this perk right here on the 8th bar. It's a little coin dropping. I don't know what the fuck it is, but it sounded good. And it's percussion like this, just some weird shit that kind of makes the beat interesting. Like kind of makes it stand out a little bit. Then the last element of the drums is this perk right here from my Rookie Season drum kit. That's what it sounds like. and all the percussion that I added to this beat, they all go really well together, like complement each other. And it's really important to find balance in adding percussion. So that's what the percussion by itself sounds like. So next we probably got the most important part of these type of beats to keep the artist or the listener interested, and that's arrangement, of course. For the arrangement, I couldn't really do too much. When it comes to the melodies, of course we got the piano playing throughout the whole beat, as well as the tubular bell and the crash. So yeah, of course those are playing in the intro. Next I got a 16 bar hook right here, which I added the little lead at the second 8 bars of the hook. After that I got a 16 bar verse. Of course you got the piano and all that shit playing, but I added the piano notes at the second part of the verse, the last 8 bars. Then we got an 8 bar bridge right here with the piano and the lead playing. I didn't want to have the lead and the piano play simultaneously, since that would get too busy, if it makes sense, since the patterns were very similar. Yeah, after that I just copied that straight over, man. So the arrangement is not too complicated when it comes to the melody. But when it comes to the drums, I wanted the beat to drop right off the bat, so no like intro, stuff like that. So when the artist opens the beat, like they instantly get hit with the drums. So of course we had like 5 different perks in this beat, so I decided to kind of alternate between them. So for example, in the first 8 bars in the intro right here, we almost got everything playing to really catch the listener's ear. And since you start out with the drums, of course I decided to cut them out right here, leave a little gap to kind of separate the intro and the hook from each other. Also added this transition in the middle, so it kind of flows into the hook. Next, like I said, got a 16 bar hook right here, and instead of adding all fancy transitions, I decided to kind of have these gaps in the hi-hats, just to kind of separate the first 8 bars from the second 8 bars. Did the same thing right here to kind of transition into the verse without adding a lot of effects. I did decide to add a tape stop in between the hook and the verse, just to kind of let the artist know that they're getting into a verse and it's a different part, a different section of the beat coming up. So that sounds like. Then for the 16 bar verse right here, took a lot of percussion out to really give the artist a lot of space. We got the 808 hi-hat and the snare, open that in the first 8 bars, and left some percussion in, but not too much. Then this 8 bar bridge right here, no drums at all, very open, a lot of space for the artist, really gives the listener and the artist a break to go back into the 16 bar hook right here. Just copied that over, and that's all I did. And that's how I make beats for placements, man. So I hope after watching this video, man, y'all get y'all placements up. Like always, man, I want to thank y'all for watching the video all the way to the end. I hope y'all learned something from the video. Like always, don't forget to check out my Heaven drum kit. First link in description, make sure to get that. Also want to thank y'all for 22K on the channel, man. Y'all be going crazy. And I'm telling y'all, man, 100K by the end of next year, bro. Clip it. So yeah, that's all I got for today's video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, all that shit. Follow me on Instagram, man. I'll catch y'all in the next video, man. I'm out.